तेरो नाम।
Sisters and brothers, pranam. It's a pleasure once again to join you for another episode of Ramayan Mahima U.S.A. It is our sincere hope that those of you who have been watching our program, your lives have been tremendously enhanced. Our program has had an impact, and it is of importance also that you make applications of whatever you have learned into your lives. Ramayan Mahima is presented to you and comes to you by the efforts of some very hard-working devotees in USA, and it is, like we said, our sincere hope that you will climb the ladder to spirituality. On the program of Ramayan Mahima, I bring to you the first bhajan, and it will be done by Bhaiji Diwan. Bhaiji Diwan, an ardent devotee of Pavanputra Mahavir Swami, he's going to sing for us a very beautiful dedication to his feet.
Jai Shri Hanuman, Jai Shri Hanuman, Mangalamurati Marutnandan, Sakala Mangal Mulanikandan, Pavanatane Bal Pavana Samana, Buddhi Viveka Vigyana Nidhana. Jai 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 Bajrang Bali, Jai 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 Bajrang Bali, Jai 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 Bajrang Bali. Mahavir Hanuman Gosai, Mahavir Hanuman Gosai, tumhari yaad bali. Jai 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 Bajrang Bali, Jai 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 Bajrang Bali. साधु संत के हनुमत प्यारे, भक्त हृदय श्री राम दुलारे। साधु संत के हनुमत प्यारे, भक्त हृदय श्री राम दुलारे। राम रसायन पास तुम्हारा, सदा रहो तुम राम दुआरे। तुम्हारी कृपा से हनुमत बीरा, तुम्हारी कृपा से हनुमत बीरा। सुधरी विपत तली, जय 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 बजरंग बली, जय 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 बजरंग बली। जय जय श्री हनुमान, जय जय श्री हनुमान, जय 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 बजरंग बली, जय 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 बजरंग बली। शरण महासुखदाई, जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई। तुम्हारी शरण महासुखदाई, जय 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 हनुमान गोसाई। तुम्हारी महिमा तुलसीदाई, जग जननी सीता महामाई। शिव शक्ति की तुम्हारी हृदय, शिव शक्ति की तुम्हारी हृदय, जो तुम महाचली। जय 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 बजरंग बली, जय 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 बजरंग बली, जय जय श्री हनुमान, जय जय श्री हनुमान, जय 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 बजरंग बली, 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 जय 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 बजरंग बली।
Friends, there you were listening to the voice of Bhaiji Diwan, formerly of number 19 village. It is our sincere hope that that bhajan has put you into the mood to listen to tonight's pravachan. Once again, we are fortunate enough to be blessed with the opportunity of listening to Pandit Vidyanand Prasad. Those of you who know him, you know that he has been working assiduously to promote Satya Sanatan Vedic Dharma, and more so, his effort is that he should make the lives of Hindus and others better. Sit back with your family and let's listen to what Panditji has to tell us all.
Sitaram, my dear brothers and sisters, and once again it is a pleasure to be with you for these few moments as we again go into the sacred texts to examine the teachings given to us by the Lord, by our great writers, and to see how we can apply them in a way that will enable our lives to go forward materially, spiritually, and to ensure that we are able to attain a better lives. Before going proper into tonight's Katha, however, join me in a few moments of prayers as we call out to Bhagwan for his protection and for his guidance. We pray. Govinda Govinda Hari Murari, Govinda Govinda Mukunda Krishna, Govinda Govinda Ratanga Pani, Govinda Govinda Namo Namaste, Vasudeva Murishi Kesham Vamanam Jalashayanam Janardanam Harirvaksham Shri Krishna Garudhvaja, Shri Krishna Garudhvaja, Hari Om Shanti Shanti Shanti, Hari Om. My dear friends, I want to bring to your attention this evening few verses from Srimad Bhagavad Gita, where Lord Krishna very beautifully describes some of the qualities that man needs to practice. Every one of us, we want to get closer to Bhagwan. But how does this become possible? In these very few verses, wonderful verses of Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna describes to Arjuna, and what he says we are going to hear further. Shri Krishna Sharanam 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 Adveshata Sarvabhutanam Maitreya Karunevacha Nirmama Nirankara Samadukam Sukhakshami Shri Krishna Sharanam Shri Krishna Sharanam Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Niram Santushtah Satatam Yogi Yat Atma Vidanishvaya Mayarapitamanodhivaya Madhbhakta-Priya Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Shri Krishna Sharanam Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam Mama Shri Krishna Sharanam. The Lord said to Arjuna in a very beautiful way that, O Arjuna, he who hates no being, who is friendly and compassionate to all, who is free from the feeling of I and mine, even-minded in pain and pleasure, and forbearing, ever content, steady in meditation, self-controlled, and possessed of firm conviction with mind and intellect fixed on me, he, my devotee, is dear to me. Here, the Lord beautifully describes what is expected of the devotee, how the devotee needs to behave in his everyday life. And the very first one, he says, he who hates no being. In our life today, there is so much of hatred going on. We do not want to see this one, we do not want to see that one, we do not want to see X, Y, and Z. Then how can we turn to the Lord? How will we become dear to Lord when basic teachings are absent from our lives? Friendly and compassionate, we have become blocks of stones, my friends. And more so the feeling of I and mine. Yes, this is mine. I am this. What happens to us thereon? The Lord tells us when we adopt these qualities in life, when we are going to separate ourselves from Him. It is not strange then that we have the complaints that, you know what, I am praying so much and it seems as if God is not listening to my prayers. My friends, when we practice all these unwanted qualities, negative tendencies, how will Bhagavan listen to our prayers? The feeling of oneself as alien to another is born out of ignorance. An aggressive form of this feeling is hatred. Therefore, hatred comes from ignorance. And this destructive feeling, therefore, has no place in the life of a devotee. The devotee has to be loving. All situations are accepted by him as part of karma, as the work of the Lord. He understands that he has to cultivate friendship with all, and the base motive of self-advancement. For us to be developed fully in life spiritually, then friendliness towards all has to be there. It is only when man becomes friendly to all, then hatred disappears. It is only when man develops friendliness to all, then compassion develops, because then we see everyone as someone dear to us. Yes, when man regards everyone as dear to him, when man can practice that love as expected towards every creature, every being in life, then what happens thereon? God opens his arms and he accepts that devotee. The devotee then becomes so compassionate that he ever promotes the welfare of others. He ever promotes goodness in the lives of others. You know, there's one very beautiful verse in the Ramayana, the Doha which Tulsidas describes to us, and what Tulsidas ji says, we hear. Tulsidas says to us, weighed down with the load of their fruits, all the fruit trees, high as they may be, touches the ground. Even as the benevolent souls grow, all the more humble on getting a large fortune. As we get up in life materially, man must not seek to only think about himself, like I said, I and mine, but man must reflect on others and think about others. Man has to be there for others at all times, just as the trees laden with fruits. Nadi na piya koi apna jal, vriksha na khaye ko bhi apna phal. The rivers do not drink their own waters, nor do the trees, which we just talked about, laden with fruits, touching the ground. They do not even eat a single portion of even one fruit. Everything is there for the benefit of man and man himself. Man in the world. Likewise, we are all trees in this world too, my friends. Every one of us, we bear different fruits. Every one of us, we are capable of doing something else. And if we can all join together and do into the lives of others, then imagine how wonderful the world will become. But when we think about ourselves and we live such a selfish life, then what becomes of us? We die in selfishness even. Whatever we receive then in life, we have to use for the simple purpose of promoting goodness into the lives of others. We have to promote goodness so that everyone else may be able to uplift themselves and may be able to become better individuals. Resulting from this service to others, a devotee may lose his possessions. He may even be put to hardship, but that ordeal causes him no pain thereon, because when the world happens to speak highly of his exemplary life and work, he realizes that he has been serving a purpose. He derives no pleasure from the praise, but he knows inwardly that, yes, he has been doing what the Lord required of him. It is not often that a devotee is put to unwarranted afflictions by the ignorant and willful ones. But in such trying circumstances, a genuine devotee is always forbearing. He always stands strong. Contentment and bliss, it ever marks that yogi or that devotee for their own. And becoming established in such self-control and a disciplined life, yes, they become a part and parcel of that being that in the form of the Lord. My dear brothers and sisters, just as how the needle of the compass always points towards the north, the faculties of that devotee are ever bent and intent on the Lord and the Lord Himself. It is then that such a devotee becomes dear to the Lord. He becomes very close to Him. Sri Ramakrishna, in his works, he said these words, and I quote, "Does the Lord attach any value to the wealth and property dedicated to Him? Nothing whatsoever. The Lord bestows His grace on that devotee only who has an inordinate love and devotion for Him. The Lord attaches all importance to devotion, discrimination, and detachment from worldliness." Guru Nanak, one day, we are told, visited a merchant, and when he visited that merchant, he saw a very strange sight in front of the home. And we are told that what that sight was? There were 7 flags flying in front of the yard. So he went in, and we are told he questioned the merchant. After he was given a seat, he was given comfort. He questioned the merchant, "What is the meaning of those flags in front of the home here?" And the merchant said, "Each of those flags stand for 1 lakh of rupees." Guru Nanak said, "So you have 7 lakh of rupees?" He said, "Yes." "You're a rich man?" "Yes." But what was he doing for society? Nothing. Guru Nanak wanted to bring that man out from that state of ignorance. And what he did, he said, "You know, we will all be leaving this world." The man said, "Yes, I know that." He said, "I want you to do something for me. I want you to take this needle that I have and keep it very safely for me. You must not lose it. And you will keep it very safe until we reach again in the next world. And then you will give it to me." The merchant was very happy to do that favor for Guru Nanak. And we're told he took the needle, he went, he locked it up into that safe very safely. And then he went to his wife and he told his wife, "You know what? I've been entrusted with a very difficult task by Guruji." The wife asked him, "What was that task?" And he explained, "Oh, I've been told to keep a needle for him, and that when we reach up again in the next life, I will give it back to him. My dear friends, the wife turned to that merchant, and the wife said that, "Oh, my dear husband, how will you reach Guruji again to give him this needle? How will you take the needle in the first place with you? Will you be able to take it with you?" The merchant thought about it, and then he realized what Nanak Ji was trying to tell him. All the wealth that he was hoarding, not using it for any good purpose, it was going to serve him no purpose after death. And so from that day, that merchant then, yes, he went about living a life where no longer he was storing the wealth, but he was using it now for the purpose of the upliftment of the lives of others. As man lives his life then, he needs to think and reflect on these points, and he needs to try to get closer to God. But just putting flowers at the feet of Bhagwan, doing arti, etc., it's not enough. Our negative tendencies have to be removed from our lives. Anger, hatred, pride, ego, we need to get rid of them. We need to be humble. We need to be simple. We need to be considerate. We need to be compassionate and forgiving. In this way, we become dear to the Lord. My dear brothers and sisters, I do hope that we can able, with God's blessings, to make the necessary changes as required, so that indeed we can get nearer to Him, we can get nearer to Him, that our lives will forever gain His protection, that it will gain this support, not only in good times, but even in times of troubles and pains, in times of unhappiness, that He will be there to help us. And so I pray that the Lord will indeed bless you, that you can walk the right path, towards the right direction, the direction that will ultimately bring you to His divine feet. May Bhagwan bless each and every one of you, and may He continue to guide you in all walks of life, that you can become dear to Him. Hari Om Shanti, 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 Hari Om. Principal Vrindavan Bihari Lal Ki Jai.
Sisters and brothers, there we were listening to Pandit Vijayanand Prasad delivering our pravachan for this episode of Ramayan Mahima. He was talking about the qualities that makes us saint-like, qualities that can makes us a better person, qualities that we need to inculcate in our lives to make us better devotees. And we need to understand that we were all born pure, but we came into this world and we got caught up with the materials of the world, with worldly illusions, and as thus we all got messed it up. Like a beautiful song says, Maili chadhar od ke kaise. We have come with a clean shawl, but we allow the shawl to become stained. And so in tonight's pravachan, Pandit Vijayanand beautifully tells us all, we need to go back and to make that shawl clean and white, to be saint-like. Thank you very much, Pandit Vijayanand Ji. And friends, I now present to you another bhajan, which will be done by young and talented Serena.
There
beautiful bhajan sagar tat par baith akela. The devotee sits on the banks of the river, chanting the name of the Lord, where he and she can enjoy immense tranquility. A beautiful old bhajan being done by Serena. I'd like to thank her very much. Her friends, those of you who've been watching Ramayan Mahima this episode, I'd like to thank you for watching this program. And more so, we encourage you that whatever has transpired, whatever teachings comes your way through these programs, please don't listen, let it pass through the other ear, but inculcate these teachings into your life, because we are now facing trialing times. The time that we are now in, it says that we are faced and we are bombarded by many negative qualities. The only way we can add and assist to the positiveness of this world is to inculcate these qualities that all preachers and all lectures and all teachers have been talking about. And so until we meet again for our next program of Ramayan Mahima, I pray may the blessings of the Supreme continue to guide all of us. Until we meet again, Namaste.